clear coat is flat and smooth, but it does look a little bit different. Doesn't it look like a little bit pinkish? What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna continue working on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. And as you've seen in the previous video, we finished up all the bodywork inside these door jambs, but we are not done there because we still got a little bit more bodywork to go. And that is this windshield frame here, which is aluminum, and it kind of got pushed in weirdly. So we're gonna be doing some kind of aluminum fix, probably jam something in there and hopefully pry that out because there's no other way to fix that. But before we do any of that, we want to go ahead and jump on the back here and weld in this hardtop piece that the hardtop actually sits on. It's just 3 holes right there, so that should be super simple. So let's go ahead and actually weld this sucker in, and then we're going to try to repair that windshield frame. Alright, so we got this piece welded in, and we went ahead and actually threw some seam sealer along these edges right here. But dude, check that out. We actually went ahead and trimmed up all the edges just to make it look more OEM. And dude, I can't wait to see what it looks like with some paint on it. You probably won't even be able to tell that that sucker's been replaced. But anyways, we're gonna let that cool off. It's super hot right now. We're gonna jump on this windshield frame and see if we can get this sucker repaired. Alright guys, so everything turned out perfect. The bodywork went smoothly, and dude, check out that gap. That is exactly what we were looking for. Now we're gonna let this primer dry overnight, and we're gonna catch you guys tomorrow in the morning. Alrighty guys, so it is the next day here, and we did get a little early start yesterday, but we're gonna continue working. We're gonna bring out some sandpaper and start wet sanding all the primered areas. But before we do any of that, we actually wanna take care of these welds right here. Go ahead and grind them down, throw a little bit of glazing putty and prime that in as well. And then we're gonna continue sanding and try to throw some color down. So now that we got this primed in nice and smooth, the next thing that we're gonna do is actually jump inside this tub area and dry scuff about half of it and do like a tape line, because we are gonna be blending once we're gonna be painting these door jambs here. And we're gonna focus on this windshield frame probably later once we're gonna be painting the exterior. So let's go ahead, grab some sandpaper, get this all scuffed, and try to tape it up and get it ready to spray. so we finally got everything wet sanded, and you might have noticed that we use two different type of sandpapers, and what we like to do is actually use a 500 grit on the gray primer and a 600 grit on this black primer that comes from the factory, and it gives us the perfect finish when we're ready to paint. And also the way that we're gonna actually tape this thing off is probably just drop a tape line about halfway there, and while we're spraying this gem, it's just gonna kind of blend itself there. And as for the tape line here, luckily there's like a structure covering another structure. It gives us a line right there. It's gonna look OEM. As for the rear here, we don't gotta tape off anything really, because you're just gonna be spraying right here and it'll just blend itself on. We may even paint that quarter panel, I don't know. But before we do any of that, we're actually gonna pull this Ferrari out, set up our doors over here, because we gotta prep those suckers to paint the back of them as well. Alright, so both of the doors are finally sanded. We did dry scuff the new door, and we actually wet sanded the painted door, so it is kind of still wet, which we're actually gonna go grab some kerosene right now, fire up this heater, and get things rolling a little bit faster. Alright, so $22.50 for 5 gallons of kerosene. Now let's head back and fill that sucker up. Dang, son. We had to hop through a few hoops and loops just to figure this one out, didn't we?
It took us like 3 sections of tarp just to put this thing together. Hopefully it works. Hopefully no overspray on the inside or the Jeep. But man, it's looking good, man. We're ready, dude.
Yes, sir. We're ready to pretty much wax and grease remove, tack cloth, and then some sealer, right?
Some sealer, and then I think we're gonna go ahead and do our first coat of paint. And what I'm thinking is I'm just gonna go ahead and actually paint all of this red, because it's just gonna be better for us whenever we're gonna be painting the outside of the Jeep. It's gonna be a lot less paint, and it's gonna match a lot better.
More coverage, yeah, exactly. Yeah. More coverage, so
the redder, the better. So right now, let's just go ahead and you wanna clean everything up and then start mixing up our sealer and do our first coat. Alright guys, so everything is wax and grease removed. We are right here and we are ready to mix up some product. But before we do anything, we want to go ahead and mention that we were thinking about using our white sealer, but we did a little bit more research and people actually recommend the gray sealer, which is a good thing because this stuff is already ready to spray. I don't know why they recommend the gray over the white. Maybe because it just will blend better, I think.
I think so too. I noticed actually on one of the doors it was kind of scratched and there was some gray underneath it. So good thing that we did a little bit more research actually.
Yep, so we're gonna go ahead and actually pour this gray sealer up and throw our first coat. All right, so the sealer went down amazing. We're letting it dry right now, but it is time to start mixing up our paint right here. This is actually called Chrysler Firecracker Red right here. So let's go ahead and actually crack this sucker open, see what it looks like,
Hey,
dude.
let's firecrack it straight open, man.
You ready?
It's pretty expensive, $750. This stuff is ready to spray. We gotta...
That is red. That's like bright. That's like firecracker red right
yes,
there.
Yes, sir. That's why they call it that. But I think that should be plenty, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. This is already ready to spray. We bought, what, like a quart of it?
I think we got 3 quarts of it, and then they mixed up the rest. I forget how much we got.
Yeah, well, we just wanted a gallon ready to spray, and they went ahead and mixed everything up. So let's go ahead and pour this sucker up and do our first coat of red.
Oh, man, we wasted about a quart right there, but it's no biggie. No biggie.
I was trying to not spill it, but dude, it just went everywhere.
Oh my goodness, but we should have used one of those things, you know, that clips on there, but we lost it,
man. I done lost it.
We need to buy us another one, but it's all good right there. That's about, you know, a door, a whole entire door or something like that.
Count about like probably like $30.
No, we got a lot more than we needed, so that shouldn't be a big deal. But now we got to conserve, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, guys, so we just threw 2 thick coats of paint. We're about to throw a couple more, but right now we need to refuel ourselves. So we got us a little snack right here, and you know, we're ready to go, man.
Crazy, man. We just got the whole dang Domino's. What? How's that clear coat?
That's some good Sprite coat right there.
Yeah, they actually didn't give us no coats, which is no big deal. You know, we're gonna use what we can.
This is clean.
There's a clean coat.
There's a new liner in there, by the way.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and eat, and then we're gonna throw some more coats, and then mix up some clear.
Let's do it.
All right, so we paused for a second because we kind of ran into a sketchy situation because it did just start pouring on us. And what did we notice, dude?
Yeah, after we threw like 2 coats on here, we're letting it dry. Then I was just walking around to make sure, and we noticed some condensation build up on these 2 doors right here, which is super crazy, super scary for us because this could put fish eyes all over the paint.
Or ruin the paint job. Do something crazy. You can do anything at this point.
But right now, we're probably gonna just fire up this heater right here, try to heat up both of these doors to get rid of all that, because I mean, that fan right there was sucking so much air in here.
I noticed that only these 2 doors got the condensation or the moisture on them. The Jeep itself didn't get any on it, which is a good thing, I guess, but
it's sketchy. Yeah. Hopefully we can prevent any type of fish eyes. We're not gonna run that heater because that will actually increase the fish eyes. So let's go ahead and actually fire this sucker up, put it underneath both of these doors, and hopefully get rid of this condensation.
Alrighty guys, so about 20,000 coats later and we are done throwing the base coat. How many coats of base do you think we threw about?
Threw probably about 15 coats, dude, because this stuff, man, it actually covered pretty dang good because it is thick paint, but it was just so difficult because it almost looked like it was still way too dark.
Yeah, no, I noticed that too, but I think we threw down plenty. And I think the clear coat actually brightened it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So we're gonna go ahead and actually mix up a cup of clear coat, probably throw what, like 2 to 3 coats or something like that?
2 to 3 coats is perfect, especially for the inside of those doors and the door jambs. This weather is kind of slowing us down a little bit, but you know what? It's not stopping us.
Oh yeah, we're fighting the weather right now with the heater, with the fan and everything. We're just trying to calculate everything perfectly. That way we don't mess up this paint job. But let's just go ahead and actually mix up our cup of clear and throw our first coat. Alright guys, so the clear coat just went down. It looks super smooth, but it is super late. I'm gonna go ahead and clean my gun and we're gonna catch you guys tomorrow in the morning.
Alrighty guys, so it is the next day here and this stuff is almost dry, but not 100% because we did paint this super late at night. But looking at it right now, it looks pretty dang good. The clear coat is flat and smooth, but it does look a little bit different. Doesn't it look like a little bit pinkish almost?
Man, this sucker looks pink. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Let's go over here.
Looks like a pinky.
But the camera, I don't know. On the camera, it actually looks pretty dang red, but in person, this looks a little bit pinkish to us.
What I think we need to do is actually blast that heater and heat up this whole entire room and let this stuff bake really nice. Maybe it's the clear coat that's a little hazy or something. I don't know. But let's just go ahead and fire it up and then we're probably gonna start unwrapping this Jeep. All right, so we finally got that sucker unwrapped. We had to wrestle it, man. There's so much wrap on this thing. But dude, let's check out this color match. So we're gonna start up front here where we did our first tape line, right?
Yep, right here is our color and right here is the original color, which is really dang close.
Really close, man.
The inside right here is actually like perfect. As you can tell, the color match between the roll cage and this, a little bit of overspray right there with the primer, but no big deal.
We can get rid of that stuff.
And check out this color match right here. That's basically like perfect, dude. The reason why it's not really that good in the back over here is because whenever that gray sealer was overspraying over here where that little foam tape was, it kind of darkened it up. But no big deal. That's why we painted all this. That way the next time around, we're going to go ahead and actually paint the whole entire back end. But dude,
it's there. It's getting real close. All we got to do is paint the outsides of the doors, right?
Yeah, paint the outsides of the doors, throw these suckers on. Well, first we're going to throw these suckers on here and paint everything at once. You know
we're going to go ahead and probably paint the back end of the tub, probably do a tape line over there. Yeah. We're just going to blend like this.
Yep, blend half of it, make it look perfect, making it match amazing. And dude, check this out, man.
It's coming together. All we gotta do is paint the fender. I don't know, we're not even gonna touch the hood, so we're gonna blend onto the fender.
Yeah, the fender, we're just gonna like blend just a little bit, so I'm not gonna completely waste a lot of paint on it. And this same goes for here. We're just gonna blend this little half right here, about halfway right there, and just clear coat the rest of the windshield frame.
But yeah, as for the tub, what are we gonna do here? It turned out pretty dang good, right?
Yeah, everything is basically perfect in the tub. All we gotta do is, what do you say, just put the interior together, or did you have an idea?
I was really thinking about rhino lining it because we did that in all of our old Jeeps and it kind of gives it a little bit more soundproofing and it'll kind of give it a little bit more cleanup of all the dings.
A little bit more rigid too,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But we were thinking about using actually Raptor liner, right?
Ooh, I don't know the difference. Which one's better?
I think Raptor liner is a lot better than what we previously used, and it's a little bit thicker, so I don't know how it's gonna go down on this floor because we need to make sure we cover up all the bolts. You know, there's gonna be a lot of taping just to use stuff like that.
But since we already got most of our interior apart, we might do it. I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. Should we do it, or is it even worth it or not? You know what I mean?
It just depends. But anyways, what do you say about this Jeep, man? What's the next step?
Next step is to pretty much do a bunch of mods.
As soon as we're done painting, man, the fun stuff is gonna be just around the corner.
We got some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you guys are expecting this, but we got some curveballs for you.
Oh yeah.
But guys, that is gonna be a wrap for today's video. The rain has slowed us down a little bit, but it didn't stop us. We managed to knock it out and it turned out amazing. But make sure your post notifications are on because we got some crazy things coming for this Jeep and you're not gonna wanna miss out. And also guys, if you want an inside scoop before YouTube, definitely give us a follow on Instagram at goonzquad. And if you wanna help support your boys, be sure to visit goonzquad.com and copy some merch. So with all that being said, thank you guys for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below and we'll catch you next time. Peace.